All right, everybody. So we're going to go ahead and do a little walkthrough on how to recalculate some of our measures of center and variability. So here's our data set up here. What we want to do is we want to go ahead and order it first, just because we know we're going to have to do that eventually. So your lowest is an 11, and a 14, 15, 18, 19, 20, 22. So the other thing is really important to make sure that you have all of your numbers accounted for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So since we have them all, we're ready to move on. First thing we want is our mean. Remember, the great thing about mean, I can add them in any order I want. So I'm just going to take a second, add up our numbers. You go ahead and do that on your calculator also. Give you a second. Remember, at the mean, I want the total. So my total is 119. And I know I have 7 numbers. So 119 divided by 7, our mean is 17. Next is our median, which is the middle number. Since I have 7 numbers, that means there's 1 in the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, here's my median right here, 18. My mode, want to see if any number occurs more than others, because it's the one that happens the most. And I do not have a mode, so none on that one. The range, when they're organized like this, largest minus the smallest. So our range is 11. Now, we've already done the median, which you remember, that's our Q2. So from here, I can go and look at it and go, okay, great. Q1 is the median of the small set, and that means these 3 numbers, the one in the middle, Q1 is 14. My Q3 is the median of the high set, 20. Interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1, so our IQR is 6. Right now I'm looking at it and I'm thinking I don't have an outlier, but I'm going to go ahead and prove to make sure that I don't have an outlier. So to do that, remember we do Q1 minus 1.5 multiplied by the IQR. So my Q1 was 14 minus, and I'm going to go ahead and do 1.5 multiplied by 6. That's 9. 14 minus 9, 5. Is there anything that's 5 or lower? No. Now we want to go ahead and we want to do our high outlier to prove, Q3 plus 1.5 times the IQR. So Q3 plus, I'm sorry, I do know Q3, 20 plus, I multiplied these, I know it was 9, 29. So nothing is big enough to be an outlier, so I have no outlier. Now, since I don't have an outlier, remember our best measure of center, if we don't have an outlier, is the mean, because no outlier. All right, so we're going to move on to mean absolute deviation, which means we want the difference between each one of these numbers and our mean. So if I just subtract these as I go and figure out how far away, I can solve for the mean absolute deviation. So my mean is 17. How far away is 11 from 17? 6. How far away is 14? 3. How far away is 15? 2. How far away is 18? 1. How far away is 19? 2. How far away is 20? 3. And 22 is 5. So I'm going to find the mean of those. So if I do the addition, I need a total first, which is going to be 22, divided by my 7 numbers. I get a decimal, and I want to go ahead and round it to the nearest tenth. So right now, my mean absolute deviation is 3.1. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move down to our next data set. So here's my new data set. So let's go ahead. We'll put these in order also. So 50, and then 52, 64, 65, 76, and 76. So I'm going to go ahead and find my mean. My total. And we're talking about 6 numbers divided by 6. Our mean is going to be 58. Now, since I have these all lined up, it helps. 6 numbers means 2 in the middle. 64 and 65. What's right in the middle of that? 64.5. I do have a mode because I have a number that happens more than once. That's 76. My range, my largest minus my smallest, and we get 61. So here's my 6 numbers again. Since I had 2 in the middle, I want to split it. There's my middle number. So Q1 is 52. Q3 is 76. My IQR, I want to subtract those two, and we get 24. I'm going to wait on this because I'm not positive. So remember, we want Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR. Q1 is 52 minus 1.5 times 24 is 36, and we get 16. Now, since we have a 15, and that's lower, we already know that 15 is low enough to be an outlier. So let's check the high side. Plus 1.5 times the IQR. So we're talking 76 plus also 36, 112. So we do have a low outlier, and since we have an outlier, the best measure of center is going to be our median, because we have an outlier. Okay, last is our mean absolute deviation. So we want the difference all of these are from 58. So if I do 58 minus 15, I know the first one's 43 away, plus 52 to 58, 6. 64 to 58, also 6. 65 and 58 is 7. 58 and 76, 18. And then 76 minus 58, another 18. So we get our total now. See what we got for a total. 98 divided by, we have 6 numbers. So we get 16.3 repeating, and we're just going to round that to 16.3. All right, everybody. Great job. Hang in there. You got this.